Welcome.
Hello.
To a little chat.
Heyo.
Episode 2.
We did it.
Who are your hosts?
Amelia. And
Amelia and Jessie Beck.
the hottest babe in the corner right
I
there.
know you lying.
Heyo.
So what are we talking about today?
Well, we want to talk about our moms. Because everyone wants to talk about their moms.
Oh yes, and we have that generational deep trauma.
Oh, well, and not just that, like, I do think our moms are both unique, but they're also like every mom.
Yes, like,
Yeah.
okay, so here's something that I feel like listeners out
viewers.
there, we're eventually gonna do video.
Yeah, we're getting there.
But
Just
like,
time.
we both are going on this journey with the relationships of our mothers.
Yes.
And working out like anger and just working out like their thought process and how we were raised and the decisions that like they're making now.
Yes.
As adult middle-aged women.
And being their age, right? Like now we're coming into their age and you kind of have this little bit of clarity as you get older.
Right. But it's also kind of like, wow, I think so much differently than they did at their age.
And
my age.
And do I think that because I had their example is I think what we want to get into.
Yeah.
And what I love about this too is we both can recognize there's like 10 phases to this. And maybe as 25, 26, we're in phase 3, you know?
Yeah.
But there's stuff
maybe going into 4.
Hopefully. But there's stuff you learn along the way. There's so many things I wish I could have told my 20-year-old self about this relationship with my mom. But there's also things that I'm glad I learned.
Right.
You know?
I never thought like the way that I feel now about my mom was the way I was ever going to feel about my mom.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what we want to get into. And if you are listening to this and you have this like love for your mom that could be endless, like the fucking ocean, but also she kind of gets under your skin sometimes, you're gonna like this episode.
Oh, it's perfect.
You are us, we are you, we are one.
Because we're questioning things.
Hold hands.
And you may be questioning things.
Yes.
You may not be at the level of like questioning that we're at, but it might help you answer some questions for yourself.
I would love, we keep doing this, we did this with our last episode. I think the theme of this is let's listen to it in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, let's see.
That would be great.
Let's critique and let's, appreciate and let's get into it. So you have met my mom.
I have met your mom.
I have met your mom. My mom is older than your mom.
No.
What?
My mom is older than your mom.
My mom is 53.
My mom's older than your mom. Yes.
72? My mom is 72.
How old was your mom when she had you?
She was 26.
My mom was 32.
But you're younger than me.
By like a year.
Okay, you were born in 2000. I was born in 98 December, but still.
A year.
What the fuck?
So your mom is younger than my mother.
That's not right in my head.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes.
No.
Accept it.
My mom loves being the young mom, I have to say.
And your mom is the young mom.
Well, she is, and she's
cute. Your mom is very cute.
Oh, she's gonna love you. She would, if she was here, she would say,
"Don't show her this podcast."
Never show. But I kind of should. Like this could be some brownie points. No, you're right. Yeah.
I'm not showing my mom this podcast.
Your mom would like it too.
No.
Okay.
No.
Maybe you would also not want to show your mom this podcast.
See,
and that also makes you us.
Yeah, the thing, okay, so delving into mothers.
Moms.
My mom is very much the type of person that, for the most part, she was a really good mom.
Love.
But she made some really big and bad decisions that really impacted like me and my sibling. And now that I'm older, she's tried to be really dependent on me, but she also kind of blocks out certain things from her memory and doesn't like mentally want to take accountability because I think it's too much for her.
Which, okay, before, and I want to get into that, but let's establish a little bit. It's okay to criticize your parents and still love them, or be questioning or like them and do I love, that's okay.
Because it's helping you establish who you are.
And let's be fucking real. The relationship you have with your parents is so unique. What other, you don't look to a friend the same way you look to your parent, ever. No. You don't look to your spouse or your partner the same way. The relationship you have with your parents is this sort of like, homogenous, beautiful, living thing that looks so different in parts of your life. Sometimes you're reliant on them for everything, every need, right? Food, shelter, survival when you're a little baby. And then as you get older, you have maybe a friendship, maybe not. Maybe you need some space. Maybe you gotta say, Mom, give me a year to figure out this shit that you did, but I love you.
And it could be at different ages.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Really, man, I forgot what I was gonna say. But
different ages.
You guys can have different personalities.
Oh, hard. I think we both have different personalities than our moms.
You know, I have to say, oddly enough, that I really do think that I am like a really good combination of both my parents.
I love that.
And I pull. There's certain things that I know I pull from both of them.
Yeah, yeah. I think my mom was the cool girl, and I think she raised the nerd. And she wanted to be the nerd, right? Like, she sees the nerd and she's like, God, I should have done what the nerd did. But she also likes being the cool girl a little bit, you know?
Okay, this is coming from the woman. I have to say this. Let's deep dive here. I met this woman for the first time. We're out at a restaurant.
Didn't I?
Amelia has to go.
Yeah. I
take a phone call
in the middle of this dinner.
This girl, her mother has been drinking.
She drank.
And both of our drinks have an orchid in them.
It was like a martini, a lychee martini.
Yes, it was.
And it was
really
like fucking $15.
It was very expensive.
For 2 ounces of liquid.
For that much.
And there's an orchid in there.
So what does this woman do?
And that's $12 of the 15 is that single orchid.
She convinces me
that
I, like herself, need to eat this orchid because she does
non-edible.
This.
First of all, the orchid is non-edible food.
It's a palate cleanser and it's healthy for you.
She told you it was a palate cleanser?
Yes, just like ginger. Or maybe that's when she was talking about ginger.
I'm
but
sorry. Oh my god.
I ate this orchid because she wouldn't leave it be, and I ate this flower.
Wow. That's peer pressure, and she put you in danger. In the same.
You know what? The sad thing is if I started dying, she probably would have just hopped on a plane and flew back home.
No, that's, I think, a really good encapsulation of my mom. She is there, she's present, but she's also like very pushy.
Yes, I mean, well, yes, but she was also.
God, I'm so sorry.
She had a lot to drink. I don't know how she is really without the drink. I mean, we're having a good time until I ate a flower.
There you go.
Because I honestly don't think she ate her orchid.
Oh my god, that's so classic.
We good.
That's so classic of her to like eat an orchid and do something, or tell you to eat an orchid and then not eat it herself. So she didn't eat it the whole time.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my god.
I don't really remember, but I really don't think that she ate it because I think that was part of my like thought was like, she just made me eat this flower, but we didn't eat it together.
What's so dawning on me right now is if you have a complicated relationship with your mom, which maybe everyone does, you need a best friend that also has a complicated relationship with their mom.
You know what?
Just so you can have this.
A lot of my friends, like I have 2 really close friends I grew up with, and both of their moms. Now, their moms are like
different.
BPD.
Yeah.
Kind of narcissistic.
Right.
And my mom is not that. But both of them came from like having those types of mothers.
Right.
Which is very funny because their mothers are very much alike.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But so different from your mom too.
Yes.
And like, I think if you have a friend that you can sit down and go, hey, this really didn't stick with me well, but it's also my mom, and maybe we still text and we still talk, but I didn't love this. It's like, I feel like only a female friendship in your life can help kind of process that. Well, in therapy. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Well, for them too, it's like, they're both very emotional.
Your friends or their moms?
My friends. I mean, actually, their parents too.
Yeah.
Very emotional and very, they take to heart what their moms would say.
Yeah.
And me being the stubborn one, I'm like, oh no, that's crazy, right?
Well, and you say stubborn, but that's such a specific, like, I really want to paint this well, because Jessie is a stubborn that's like, facts exist and I'm gonna recognize those facts. Yeah. Facts are important, okay?
I am very logic based.
Yes, huge logic based. Like, you're not gonna convince her that the sky isn't blue, you know?
It's green.
And I'll die on that hill.
But yeah, if you're gonna come at me and say some like random things, I'm gonna tell you no, because of this.
What?
And so, like,
Yeah.
okay, so here's one of the things. You know, it'd be like this parent for punishment. My friend wouldn't even do anything that was bad, and their
Right.
mom would just punish them and say,
God.
"You can't do this. You need to come here and clean this to the T."
Oh God.
As if their parents ever cleaned.
Oh.
And then I'd be like, okay, but what did you do?
Mm-hmm.
And what's happening?
Why? What's our timeline
Do you
here?
like? Because these parents too would make them apologize to their parent that they messed up, and I'm like, what are you apologizing for? And they couldn't tell me because they didn't actually do anything wrong.
Jesus.
And I'm that bad kid who's like, no, your mom is wrong. But then you get to an adult and you're like, yeah, your mom was still wrong.
And I think about like how that is on such a young mind and how confusing that is. Like you need such stability and clarity at that age. And when you're that age, you're so impressionable about so many of these things. So to be given a clear set of rules of, okay, here's right and here's wrong, and here's maybe even better to say my expectations of you as a child when it comes to chores or when it comes to behavior, right? That's when you can grow and adapt and even question, like healthy amount of question. But to not be given that and then be expected to apologize when you don't understand what you did wrong, it's just confusing. Like, what are we building here, right?
Yeah, I think we're really this unique generation where we're questioning our parents and questioning how we were raised, and we're talking about it
and digging. That's what I was gonna say, the talking about it, right? Like we're digging in, we're saying why. And I've seen so many people online, nobody that I know specifically, but they're like, Mom, you gotta go to therapy, you know? Mom
and should go to therapy.
Yeah, and should go to therapy. And they're like, I'm figuring this out, and there's still time for you, there's still hope for you. I mean, all the beautiful sentiment, and you're worth it. Like, go and talk this out, and let's deal with this.
Because we're trying to be a generation that also corrects itself.
Right.
Because we don't want to pass down
Yeah.
those same things, and we just want the best for our parents in that regard too.
Right.
Like, please get help.
There's a comprehensive thought process to these societies as a whole, you know? It's like, okay, we can't just do this work for ourselves if our kids are going to be around their grandparents, or if our grandparents are going to still be members of the society, right? Like, they've got to figure this. And there's this kind of thing, okay, God, I was reading this book, shoot me, Prince of Tides, terrible.
She was forced to read this book.
Yes, thank you.
She did not willingly read this
I did not.
book.
It was awful. I don't recommend it. But at the end, right, so the whole thing is this poor man is like abused in all these different ways, physically, emotionally, mentally. But at the end, he tries to confront his dad. He's like, Dad, do you remember how you got that scar? Because Mom fucking stabbed you. She stabbed you. And the dad's like, no, I'm a shrimper and I'm from the south, whatever. And the dad basically says, you're lying. I never hit my children. I never hit my wife. Like, none of those things happened. And I think that's a response that so many kids know all too well. You come up to your mom and you're like, hey, do you remember when we went back to school shopping and I wanted to go into Hollister and you told me I was too fat? And they're like, I would never do that. What?
And it's like, yes, I was a child. Of course I'd remember this. Why would I be lying about
Why would
this?
I be lying? Who does this benefit? Like, first of all, I've thought about this every night as I try to fall asleep. I hear this when I'm looking in the fucking changing room mirror. But like, outside of that, I love you. You're my mom. I love you. I don't want to hurt you. Like, I just want to get past this with you. You are a part of this. Yeah.
Because, like, I know for my mom, I've been really trying to get her to open up to the idea of therapy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She definitely grew up in that time period and around those people who are like, therapy means you have issues.
You're crazy, is what my mom always says. Yeah.
And
which is a different word now. But, you know, for her, it means, like, unfixable. And
I'm like, I just want her to, you know, there's so much now that I'm like, if you went to therapy and figure things out, like, you're middle-aged. Don't spend the rest of your good years.
Oh my God.
Living the way that you are living when you could just be happier.
Well, and let's talk about getting older for a second. Your mom is setting that up for you right now. What does that look like? What is the potential of that time in your life? And not that everything has to come back to yourself, but it is nice to see, right? Maybe are they possible of this knowledge, of this growth? We sat down, what could they teach me? And I think if you refuse to acknowledge the things that happened in your past, you're stalled.
And unfortunately, you know, I feel like I'm at that point where I don't really think there's anything more that my mom could teach me. We have such reversed the roles where she's more dependent on me.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
And like, you know, we
That's
talk about
hard.
things and I feel like I'm teaching her stuff.
God, yeah.
And, you know,
it doesn't have to be like that, right?
No.
Right, you see the potential.
And one thing that I wish she would like learn in therapy is like, so the first few years of like my husband and I being married, we'd go do things and she'd be like, man, I wish I could go do that.
Oh my God.
And the thing is that I'd feel bad. I'd feel terrible.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, she can't do that right now.
Oh, you used to, right?
I used
that
to.
used to be the thought. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the last couple of years, I've kind of built up this like, well, maybe the last year. This is newer. I built up this anger because I'm like, at my age, she was off doing so many fun things that like I being like the adult that has to like her, she's kind of put this pressure that I have to take care of everyone,
right?
And I'm like, you aren't doing that at your age, at like the age that I am.
Fun. Yeah.
And then also like when my brother and I were growing up, we would be off at my dad's house for like a couple weeks during the summer, and I realized because why were we there? Because she was off with my stepdad going cross country having vacations. So I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? You've already lived a full life. And like, I don't want to feel guilty that I'm like trying to have fun in my 20s.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's not the problem. The problem here is not your reaction to it or you trying to like have the same experiences that your mom wanted to have or have better experiences. The problem is that your mom at this point is putting this extra layer of guilt on you, right?
Yeah. Like one thing too is like in the last place we lived, I wanted to like go to Home Goods and get some like cute kitchen towels. And I could tell that she wasn't into it because my stepdad won't let her decorate in the house. And I could tell that was kind of a thing for her.
Yeah. Like
and she'd rather go clothes shopping. And I'm like, that's fair, but like I'm not getting that moment of like, oh, that's so great, let's decorate for your house.
Exactly. And that's kind of the thing is nobody is questioning, you know, you love your mom, you want to have this adult, more friendship style relationship, but if you were to put this in the terms of a friendship, she's not really being a good friend, right? Like,
yeah, I'm more of like the emotional support like friend for my mom at this point in my life.
Well, and I think this is why it's so cathartic for us to talk about it, because I feel the exact same way. I get these calls from my mom who, you know, just for some context for our listeners, I haven't talked to my dad in a while. She's still married. My mom is still married to my dad. That definitely has put a strain on our relationship, but she will call me still, and I'm still that confidant, right? She'll be like, he did this today, and I hated it, and blah, 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 you know, because she can't talk to her friends about it outside the family, so she talks to me. And as a child, I thought, oh my God, my mom thinks I'm so smart, and she thinks I'm so mature. But now as an adult, I'm like, baby, all of your kids are grown up. Every single one. Change. You want to make that change? Change.
Right. And like, we're giving you advice and we're telling you what we think. So,
right.
I don't know, for my mom, I think she's just too afraid to enact like what I tell her at this point in her life.
Yeah. I mean,
but also, again, do you want to spend the rest of your life living like that?
That's the question. And at this point, instead of like asking, I've just said, okay, this is your choice, and I'm just gonna try and like radically accept that. And then there's kind of like unpacking some of the things you hear as a child. Like, I remember we were talking about this one time, how, oh God, you know, it's something I think both of our moms have said, but I think we were talking about your mom, how she was like, oh, if you put on that much makeup, you look like a prostitute.
Oh yeah, okay, so let me throw in context here.
Oh, of course, yeah.
One of like we were talking about earlier, like our growing up and the things that our moms would say to us.
Crazy things.
Just to also be like a learning lesson, right? So when I was like elementary school, kind of going into middle school, You know, she's kind of like, you know, girls don't need to wear this much makeup. They look like prostitutes. And that actually worked, like, for me, though, because I realized, like, yeah, I am a kid. I do not need to be wearing that much makeup. Right. I do want to enjoy my skin being nice.
Because you have great skin at that age, right? It's just like...
It was very, very dry. This is actually the best condition my skin has ever been in.
And it looks great for the viewer at home. My girl is beautiful, moisturized. Pores are tiny as hell. I'm jealous.
You have tinier pores than me.
Stop.
Stop. You could be like the front face of like some moisturizer commercial because your pores are actually non-existent.
I love you and I'll pay you.
Non-existent. She has no pores. It's insane that she can even live like this.
Okay, Jessie says this. Her pores are not there. Not there. I was like maybe the before picture on the Bior commercial. But let me.
So I could zoom in on hers right now. But what we're talking about, our mom. So anyway,
yes, the makeup thing.
Yeah, that's what she said.
You liked hearing it. It was
it was good for me. I'm more of a logical thinker.
Right. And let me not put that pressure on myself right now to like figure out makeup and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I just you know, it was kind of a sense, I think, too. I personally, I don't think was really getting into that much makeup. I wanted to wear mascara. So maybe this was like middle school.
Right.
But I had a friend who was very heavy into makeup.
Really?
And I think she was more commenting on that.
Oh.
But it made me think about it sooner.
Oh, I see. Then you think you naturally would have.
Yeah, so that way I'm just like, yeah. And I mean, it really worked out for me.
Right. And the thing that we were talking about earlier, and I think you just like fucking hit the nail on the head, is that like I wish for every girl it was like what worked for them, you know? If you love makeup and like that's what you care about and putting it on makes you feel more like yourself, like I wish you had that mom that was like, you're so cute and let's check out this and oh maybe try this brand and this brand. You know what I mean? I remember I had this friend, oh my god, okay, so her name was Janine, and she was like, I loved clear mascara, like when it first came out, you know? She was like, it was so cool for me. I didn't want my eyelashes to look different, but I wanted that feeling of like putting something on. And I just remember when she told me this at the time, she was a little bit older, she was like 14 and I was like 10. And I was like, oh, I get it now, right? Like that's what it's for. It's there to make you feel more pretty, more like yourself or whatever. And for me, that always came with like the freedom of not having to put it on. I guess kind of similar to what you're saying, you know?
Yeah, my mom also accompanied that with like at a certain point, just telling me that like when you start wearing makeup,
you never
you can't you get used to the way you look with it on, and then you just can't look at yourself in the mirror the same way and feel as pretty without putting it on.
Which, controversial, I think this is something that was put on them, you know, maybe by the other beautiful ladies around them, maybe themselves, maybe men, maybe this is, I don't know, but I do think this is put on them, because I remember my mom, she would go in public sometimes without makeup on, and people that knew her would be like, oh, are you sick today? Are you feeling under the weather? And that sucks!
You know, I grew up with this friend, and she was a lot older than me, but if I did not put on concealer, because I naturally have dark circles.
Okay.
If I didn't put on concealer, she'd be like, are you sick?
Like in a mean way? Or?
No!
She
wasn't like the
that?
smartest, like, intellectually.
God, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
she wasn't thinking
maybe
through the
like
impact.
inside thought, maybe figure out, you maybe talk about your skin and figure out, like, because I probably would have brought up I have naturally dark circles. She just and she would say this every time, but I knew it's because she didn't remember the previous time.
Right.
So it's just kind of like, girl,
this is my face, babe.
This is my face. I'm a child. I can't help it. I probably have a deficiency. My parents won't figure it out. They're not interested in that. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
They don't have insurance, okay?
Yeah, I have state insurance.
So, you know, we'll see if somebody notices. And I'm a child. Yeah, and that's the thing. And like, okay, also the prostitute comment specifically, I've heard it from my mom. My mom would wear foundation. My mom would wear concealer. My mom would wear, you know, what's that called? Eyeshadow. She would wear mascara. She would put her lips on. My mom had a full beat. It just
Yeah,
wasn't
my
the
mom
same,
too.
right? It wasn't the same style. And that's what it is. It's like a sort of, you know, Nicki Minaj style should have done him for that style, right? And that's what it is they didn't like that. In their brain, here's high class, you know, gorgeous, whatever other descriptor type of woman, and then there's, you know, whatever the prostitute was.
Definitely my mom would have, like, if I ever started wearing makeup a certain way, would have commented. But I do think at the time it was more like, you're a baby, there's predators out there, you don't need to be drawing attention to yourself. So like that.
And it's true, it's like, it's so much that gets put on the shoulders of every mother. They have to worry about their child maturing too fast and in the right way and in the way that they think is correct. They're also young themselves in so many ways. You know, that phrase that you hear so often online, that it's like, oh hey, it's their first time living too. I get it, you know, I get it.
And like,
and it's fucking the whole thing is so confusing because you have legitimate complaints like, Mom, I shouldn't have heard that. Mom, you've put this in my head and it didn't need to be there, but because of you it's there. But also maybe they didn't put that in their head in the first, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I forgot what we were originally like going to this point to go back to.
Yeah.
But like going off that, like things, because like the makeup thing I didn't mind because I don't wear too much makeup in general.
Right.
But I understood where she was coming from.
Right. I've always been kind of, just while we're on the makeup thing, like the girl that knows how to do her fucking cat eye and can get that like and knows her skin. Yes!
And we're jealous.
And knows her correct foundation color? Are you fucking kidding?
I wish.
God, that's a, okay, you said this earlier. That is a skill. You don't wake up knowing that. That is trial and error, baby. That is artisanal. That is like, you figured it out.
If I knew how to do makeup like that, I would wear makeup like
baby.
that. But
if I knew, I would. Exactly.
And that's why I wish that I had like a pocket like makeup artist who's ready to do my makeup for special events, because like
you want that glam. I know.
I can't do it.
Makeup to me is such a like, oh, when I really want to look pretty, or when it's special, you know, there's like definitely a significance around it. It's like, oh, I want to do it. But then because I don't practice and I don't wear makeup every day, it's like,
but it's hard because I feel like it like gets cakey and then it's gross, but then it looks good on other girls who use the same thing, and you're like, what?
Right. One time I wore what is it called? I keep forgetting this. The color that you put here. What is it called?
Eyeshadow.
Fuck, that's so basic. One time I put eyeshadow like closer to my my eyebrow. Thank you. You're double.
Getting there, man.
I'm getting there. Give me 20 minutes. I'll think of a basic word. Yeah. So I put some eyeshadow like really close to my eyebrows, and this girl, because I wear glasses, and this girl like was like, "Take your glasses off for me." And I knew I was in trouble. I knew. I was like, fuck, I fucked up. Fuck. Right? And it was like a, I'm experimenting.
Was she the same age?
I was probably 19 and she was probably like 22. So yeah.
Okay.
Right? And she goes, take your glasses off for me. And I'm wearing like green or blue. Right? Like I never wear this. I'm a nude girly pop. I wear brown. I wear pink. You know,
but
like
you would look really good with those. For those who don't know, Amelia has like greenish blue eyes. So
you're so sweet and I love you.
It pulls. Like it's good. It works with the eye color.
Shoot me, I can die happy. Thank you. That's so sweet. I think it was like a turquoise, right? You know, it's like crazy. Well, not crazy. Crazy for me, right? A nude girl. So I take my glasses off and she goes, "Oh, you put that near your eyebrow."
Stop.
Oh, and I
hate that. I hate that type of like.
I know better, but I'm not gonna help you.
Yeah. Like, no, just tell me how you would do it.
Well, and I asked her,
don't make me feel like shit.
Because it was like a graduation party and I just got there. I was like, oh, should I run home and like take it off? She was like, no, it's fine.
No.
Yeah.
That's rude. You see, when you become older.
When you do something stupid.
And going back to our moms, right?
Right.
Is we're trying to navigate our way into becoming adults here.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to learn off the way we grew up. And I feel like myself, when me as in my mid-20s now, if I were to see that happen,
you'd help.
I would try to help out.
Right, give us a Q-tip with, you know what I mean, a little water on it. Let's just rub it out.
Don't be that.
I didn't know.
That's how you did it? Wow.
She was like, oh, it's a choice. It's a style. But I didn't. That's the thing is I wasn't trying to be special or something that I wasn't. I just didn't know, right? I was like, oh, this looks pretty.
And that's what it is most of the time.
Yeah.
Is that we just don't know because
we just
we're
don't
learning.
because we're nerds. Well, I'm a nerd, right?
Like I've had that too when I'd be little and it was like this adult be like, oh, that's what you're wearing. Well, okay, I'm sorry, I'm at my dad's and I don't have a mother to dress me. I've had to dress myself.
I thought this would work and I was worried about my brother that's also here, right? Like, yeah,
like
there's bigger concerns than me today. Let me know.
Maybe tell me what you're fully thinking rather than me having to think about it for the next week.
But while we're on this, it is a balance, right? Because I remember this was like this big event and I wore, oh God, I was like 15 or 16 and I wore a red like lip for the first time. And I knew, I Googled it, right? The red lip. I Googled it and I was like, okay, if you do a more bold lip choice, don't do too much for your eyes. So I just did mascara. And then I wore this like cherry red lip. And this older woman that I loved, she was like my grandma, even though my grandma lived in a different state, right? Like I was so close. She comes up to me, she goes, why would you do that to yourself? Walks away.
See, what is that?
At the end
we're supposed to help
of the day. I know. And I went to the car and I was just like, everyone thinks I'm boo boo da foo, you know? Like, I look like a clown today.
And it probably didn't even look that bad. Older people just have like...
I know. And she, what's so funny? Okay, so her name was Eileen. And the next time I saw her, she came up to me, she's like, hey, your mom told me that I made you cry. And I was on some new, like, meds.
Oh, accountability.
It was a good moment, and we got to hug it out.
From an old person.
I know.
And nothing against the elderly.
No.
But
they have a track record.
We're all different.
True.
And by the time that we ourselves at this age become elderly, we're going to be the same group as what we're talking about.
Maybe it'll be the same blind spot. Maybe it'll be something new. But it'll be there.
And you also mentally lose it by a certain point, I think, for most people. Right. So nothing against the elderly. I'm just saying, like, when you encounter an elderly person, sometimes they're very set in their ways.
Well, and there's tactfulness that exists in every single communication, right? Are you taking into account what this person's going through, or are you just saying what you feel? And like, unfortunately, I don't think anybody gets to just say what they feel. You have to think about who you're talking to and what they're going through and the love that you have for them in that, right?
What are our moms gonna be like when they're elderly? That concerns me deeply. Because both of my parents, who are divorced, or like the people out there,
right,
do not have their ish together.
No, no 401k, no plan.
Like I think they do have benefits.
That's good.
Like my dad has a health problems right now.
Right, and he's young.
Yeah, and they mentally age themselves really bad, and I think that's bad for their health.
You gotta keep learning, growing to stay. Yeah,
you need to stop thinking like that. And shouldn't be thinking about that. Like my husband's grandparents, perfect examples for everything.
Yes, I love his grandparents.
They're the healthiest people in his family.
I would steal their life if I could. I stand on that publicly. Quote me.
His family is crazy. His grandparents, gold standard.
They are like so cool.
They're
cool as shit.
Like who I wish I was now.
Which is why nobody likes them, because they're fucking cool. You know what I mean? That's the sign of greatness.
They actively do things for themselves.
Yep.
Like they're on top of their game.
Baby,
they're like,
they're thinking about the future. They're saying, how can I help?
Always.
How can I help my babies?
They have their future set up so their kids don't even have to worry about it, which is insane to me because my parents would never.
Think about somebody else for a second.
Like my parents, I feel like they had me so that I could take care of everyone.
You were their plan, right?
And like that's so annoying to me because I grew up with that mindset of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take care of everyone. I'm gonna take care of my brother. I'm gonna do this, blah 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 blah.
Right.
My brother's older than me. He has autism.
Right.
But my dad told me that they had me so my brother wouldn't be lonely.
Well, and they didn't prepare. You can prepare somebody in your brother's situation to be independent.
And they didn't.
That has not happened yet.
And my husband and I have tried to like put that forth so we can help him be independent, and my mom keeps putting it off.
Yep.
Is this whole thing.
Yep.
And
it's on you. That's what we're learning in this whole process. It is on your shoulders to be that next step.
And they're trying to pull me into this while they're still like healthy and alive, and I'm like, I just want to enjoy my mid-20s while I can.
Baby, you should. You should. There's so much life that you have to live in this time.
They were crazy when they were younger. I don't know why I can't have that.
Be a little crazy.
I want to be a little crazy. And I'm not even a crazy person. My idea of being a little crazy is like going out on a Thursday.
What? Go home.
Get your sleep.
Get your sleep, old woman.
Take your vitamins.
Come on, your bones are cracking.
Yeah, my bones are cracked. It's not funny.
Oh my god.
My back does hurt. My neck does hurt.
Love it. Yeah, and like I feel the same thing, and I think that's why it's such a relevant topic. Is I feel the same thing for my mom. Is, you know, she's at a point now where she needs to be thinking about retirement, but the answer is not anything that she can do. It's, what can my children do for me? She's a little, what's that guy that got shot? She's a little,
oh, there's a lot of guys that
the
got
president.
Shot. JFK.
She's, don't ask what your nation can do for you, but switch it up, reverse it. She's saying,
my children
exactly. She said, hello, I birthed all of you, and that's the last effort I'm gonna do in life.
And that's great, but birthing is like the base.
Right.
That's the start.
Right.
You didn't ask to be born. It's your parental duty to take care of your children.
April would tussle. She would tussle, you know what I mean? She'd be like, you don't know what you're talking about, right? The gift of life is every gift that you need to get, right? That's what she was saying.
And that's also another thing I think you know what? I've talked to a lot of people who are older and do agree with the fact that, like, hey, yeah, your kids are meant to do what they need to do. But it's just the overall mindset that's breaking away. Well, of like, look, you took care of your kids, but your kids get to make their own decisions.
And let's be really comprehensive in this. Let's talk about why that's not reasonable. Our generation is dealing with the highest interest rates on mortgages, the highest housing rates.
We're never gonna own a home.
So you want me to take care of you? Right. But I will be a renter forever. My rates will go up.
And I have homes.
Well, and let's be real, if you wait till you're 30 to start saving for your retirement, that's too late. $1 million will be nothing by that. You have to start when you're in the womb, right?
Yeah.
To be where you need to be. So
I
you win
should have invested in the stock market
at 4 in middle school. What were you doing?
I said 30.
Why did you buy a book at the Scholastic Book Fair? You should have put that in the Dow Jones, baby.
Yeah.
So
irresponsible. So
their generation fucked it up for a lot of us, and now their generation doesn't want to take care of themselves. And what fucking sucks is their generation is enabling a lot of these thoughts.
It's crazy. It's like,
you get on my mom's Instagram page and it is filled with so many people saying mental illness isn't real, this isn't real, blah blah blah. Your kids should take care of you, and that's the American way.
Okay, but you're messing your kids up. Like, your siblings messed up.
Fucked up.
You're like kind of the only one that's come out of that fog of being like,
and still working on it.
Yeah, you're actively working on it.
It's a lifelong
journey.
An
issue, and you're like, I'm trying to fix it.
And the problem with that is when you're the one trying to fix it, you're the one with all of the expectations. And if my 26-year-old had the same fucking spending power as her 26-year-old, sure, you know what I mean? But rent isn't $2 and milk isn't a nickel.
Think of all the things we could buy if we had that money. What drives me nuts personally is the fact that, like, I really deeply feel like my parents had no forward thinking on trying to set things up for their kids.
No, they wanted their kids to set it up for them.
And, like,
you know what my mom said to me the other day? And just to, like, let me go off, King, right? She was like, why don't you want to buy a house? Why aren't you doing every single thing you can do to buy a house? She said that to me. Oh no, she didn't. This is the woman, just so our beautiful viewers have some bit of perspective. This is the woman that did not want me to go to school, did not want me to get married, did not want me to do X, Y, and Z, right? And now she's like, why aren't you focused on buying it? You should just do that. Have you looked at the Washington State housing market recently?
Have you looked at my bank account?
Baby, look at my bank account
and see how much is going towards rent
like
versus
a fucking
groceries and
girl. A trap house is $900,000.
I went out once this month,
baby. Oh yeah,
and it broke me.
And she's like, "Where's my mother-in-law suite in the back of your house?" I wish.
Oh, if we could break. Oh,
I wish I could rent.
A whole episode.
Let me rent a mother-in-law suite, honey pie. Boo-boo.
Right.
So okay.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get into it.
Would be to rent a mother-in-law suite.
Oh, I would kill. I would give them 7 months rent if they asked for it. My sister, I have an older sister. She's 10 years older than me. She a little crazy. She called me.
Wait, when?
Friday.
You didn't tell me.
I know, this is
you guys.
You're
hearing something
news.
at the same time as I'm hearing it.
She
this
called
is crazy.
me and she said, "Hey, we haven't talked to in a while prior to this conversation." She goes, "I just got diagnosed with borderline personality disorder."
Just now?
Yes.
You guys, this woman is schizophrenic.
Baby girl. This woman, when she said that, and maybe this will resonate, maybe it won't for some people. When she said that, I said, "Oh, yeah." There was no questioning. There was no, what? You? Go back to that. No, I said.
That makes sense.
I felt relief. I felt, you're getting the help you need, and this will be so good. Can they prescribe something so it happens a little bit quicker, And yesterday, I called my mom, and I said, "Hey, my sister, did you hear your daughter just got diagnosed with BPD? Did you hear that?" Want to know what baby girl Apriel's response to that was?
I kind of don't, but I kind of do.
Should I say? Should I?
Ooh.
Is it a cliffhanger? She goes, "Yeah, she has too much time on her hands. She's thinking about herself too much. She needs to go get a job."
This is the woman who just a couple months ago was like, "This is
flower.
my baby girl."
Yeah.
Who does nothing wrong.
Nothing.
She is the pinnacle of my existence.
Apple of my eye, we are twins.
She's beautiful. Could never do anything wrong.
And then my mom goes off on a tangent for how if my sister just got a full-time job and
she wouldn't have mental issues.
The BPD would, and then.
But BPD is not something that you can just go get a job to mask. Which I feel like it should be. You can't do that with a lot of things.
A lot of things.
BPD is part of you.
BPD is part of you, and BPD is a lifelong struggle.
My sister-in-law has BPD.
Yes.
And
yes.
I have a friend who has BPD.
Oh yeah. It's people are finally learning.
You have to recognize what you have and be willing to go to therapy. And work through your issues to be like, this is affecting other people. Well, I can't react like this.
And a person with BPD has the exact same goals, has the same structure. Their brain might work a little differently, but they want the same things out of life that I want, that everyone wants.
Yeah.
And they recognize there's these critical behaviors that are getting in the way. You know what helps so much for somebody who has BPD? People going, "God, that's hard. I see what you're saying. I recognize it. I'm validating it.
Yes.
Let's help you work through this, baby."
Because a lot of them have abandonment issues.
Oh my God. Which, my sister, her story, right? Like, that's so accurate with her too. And so to hear from my mom, you need to get a job, the thing that, hey, this diagnosis might actually help me do if I work this out, to say, screw your diagnosis, screw the therapy. She's trying to do cognitive behavioral therapy. My mom was like, screw that, stop thinking about yourself, go get a job, Mom.
And you know what sucks about a lot of people that I know, I'm not saying this for everyone, it's not a blanket statement, but the people that I know that have BPD came from a household of having one parent who has narcissistic personality disorder.
Right. And for my sister, that's so true. And I think that's maybe why you mention it, right? It's like,
exactly.
It's so true. And so for her, one of the things that I know she's looking for that helps is like validation. She's not getting that from old girl Apriel. And so my frustration in all of this is, you have these high expectations for your children. You want them to be successful and take care of you, right? You want them to have a house that somehow has a mother-in-law suite in the back. But you're not going to help them when they come to you with a bit of a slight touch.
No, because that's too much. That's too much, and they don't have an issue.
It's a contradiction in and of itself.
Like, they don't want to recognize that the children have issues.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
Like, thankfully with my mom.
Yeah.
My mom has always, unlike a lot of people surrounding my family or in my family, when it came to my brother having autism, it was really hard for her to grasp, but she did like delve deep into like what autism is.
Right.
I mean, she already did. She did volunteer a lot to help like Special Olympics and all that.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no,
that's
like
amazing.
My mom is a good person.
She cares.
But like, I think really if it's other things too, again with like therapy, it's like, no,
never discourage therapy if somebody's
it's like
taking that step.
Something's wrong.
You know? Girl, exactly.
But my mom is becoming more open to therapy.
Oh, that's
wonderful. And not because I've been saying go to therapy for the last couple of years.
Which
actually,
you wish, right?
I do, and I didn't even say it for her. I was pleading with her to get a therapist for my brother because my brother, I think, really needs it. But she'd be like, oh yeah, maybe, blah blah blah.
Oh, maybe.
I've been warming her up to it, right? And then we were out to lunch one day, and my mother goes, you know, my aunt has been in therapy, and it's really been good for her.
Her aunt?
Yes, her aunt, who's a month younger than her.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So they're like the same age.
My peer.
But I'm also like, Mom, I didn't say this, but I was like, Mom, I've been telling you for the past couple of years that like, y'all need to get into therapy.
Right.
And it's not me, it's the fact that her aunt, it's almost like they're a cousin. They have a cousin relationship. Right. So it's like her cousin went to therapy.
Right.
And it's been helping her realize these like really toxic traits of like that side of the family.
Yeah.
And like helping her understand like why certain relationships with like ex-partners like absolutely went nowhere.
Wow.
And like even though they would tell her this, like she wouldn't self-reflect, and therapy's helping her do that. And now my mom's like all good with it.
Gorgeous. You know what's so funny is my mom is kind of going through the exact same.
With what? Who?
Okay, so my mom recently visited my dad's siblings because he had some health problems.
Your dad has siblings?
My dad is one of 5, and he's the baby.
This is kind of crazy. You guys, I'm not gonna talk much, but her dad is nuts, and from what I know, not knowing that he had siblings, I am shocked that he's been able to get away with the amount of stuff he's been able to get away with, especially with his inheritance.
Yep.
Over the fact that he is the youngest.
Baby girl, we'll get into it. He's the only boy, if that helps. But
oh no, it's even worse. I wish I didn't know that.
I know, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said it. I felt wrong saying it, but
and he was probably the worst.
So my mom has like been unraveling these things. She'll go to his sisters and
are you talking to your mom now again?
We talked for the first time in 5 months yesterday.
And this is all her mom.
This is all my
mom's like jumping back and forth. She's sibling going here, there, everywhere.
Here, there, in the moon, in the sea. Yep.
I can't talk about it here. I can't talk about it there. I'm all in my head.
Exactly. And it's like, baby, therapy would help you.
Therapy would.
I would say the same.
Needs to live at a therapy
I would
office.
say it's in my head, and then I went to therapy, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, we recognize, right?
So she's talking to you again.
But it's this thing. Yeah, it's mitigated at best, but we take what we can. We love our moms in jest. I mean, for real though. So she's talking to my dad's sister, and my mom has unlimited empathy for my father, and she's starting to untangle a little bit of why he is the way he is. And so she learned from her sister that my dad and his sister share these same tendencies of lying. Like my dad will meet someone one time. He will meet a stranger, and this stranger will say, oh, I like your tie, right? That's a great tie. It looks good on you. Where'd you get it, right? They have a 5-minute conversation. And then my dad will walk away and tell my mom, my siblings, his children, that's my best friend. Let me tell you about my best friend. My best friend said he loved my tie. My best friend lives here. Might not be true, might be true. I don't know, right? It's a 5-minute conversation. And he will live off that, sustain that, and build it up into this fantasy for months to come until he meets another random person that says, hey, cool shoes, right?
And so, is that because he has no friends?
He has no friends. You clocked him, and you clocked his shit hard, let me tell you. And so my mom was like, oh, griping to his sister, and his sister goes, yeah, I do the same thing, right? She joins Facebook groups.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I guess, little side tangent, gave the idea to my dad while he was there, but anyways, she joins Facebook groups, and she joined one for like Harley Davidson, right, or like motorcycles in general. And she's like, oh, I love motorcycles. and she will have, you know, a conversation with these people for an hour, maybe less, one night, and then she'll like tell all of her kids and her husband, these are my best friends in the world. And it's my mom getting to talk to somebody who's closer to her peer, somebody closer to her level, and she sees then this is real, this is a legitimate mental illness.
It's so weird that the sister actually acknowledges
Right.
that she lies
Yeah.
to other people.
And maybe it's that same thing that my mom gives validation to. Maybe she gives that to my mom because they're, you know, closer to that age group. I don't know. But my mom sees this and then she can, you know, pull herself back and not go, oh, you should have a job, you know, like she does with my sister. And I don't understand it, but I recognize, okay, this is what's happening. And that's kind of the thing with your mom is, I think because you grow up with them and they're able, or at least in my mom's case, right? When I was growing up, she was able to give me so much sympathy and be my biggest advocate for everything. You know, I got diagnosed with dyslexia when I was in elementary school, and my mom was the first one to be like, your dad has this is our family, this is who you are, and you're never going to feel bad for that for 1 second, you know? But then when it comes to more complicated things, she struggles, and she can only recognize it in these really small ways.
And I feel like with parents too, like with our parents, if they don't have experience in an area, they just cannot empathize.
Oh my god.
And like I think that's why like they specifically need therapy, because they do not have friends who are going to listen to what they're saying and come at them with the hard truths.
Like the kindest thought that I can conjure surrounding why someone would have this action, why they would respond in this way, is like they're afraid, you know? And so they take that fear and instead of challenging it or engaging with it, they mask it with saying, I'm just going to be defensive. That's like the nicest thing I can think of.
And for them, it's almost like a, like, I don't know if you have this with like your husband, but I feel like sometimes with my husband, when we're going through, or if he's just saying stuff, you know, and if you're tired, especially in your head, you're just kind of like, you know, you can deal with it.
Right. I get exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. And so with them, and you know, I have to be like, no. Like,
right.
This is an issue. He wants to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to work through something and he needs my input.
Right.
But I feel like with our parents, kind of like that for them, because they have no experience with it and it's just too much for them to handle, and they just think, oh, my child can deal with it, so they just kind of come out with that, oh, you're fine,
right? And you know,
you'll get through it.
Exactly. And it's amazing. So we don't have kids, right? Maybe we will one day, maybe not. Either way, we'll be good. And I think it's just, if we're giving our moms the greatest kindness, it's just too much for them to handle, to know ultimately the buck stops there. You know, it's too much. It's like they want to blame their mom, they want to blame their cousin, their right? Instead of taking that on. But you kind of have to do that with your kids sometimes. You kind of have to say, hey, you're right, I should have done better, and if you give me the chance, I will do that, and I'm sorry, you know?
And you know what? My mom sometimes
will do that?
No, not fully.
Okay.
Sometimes, and it's so random, she will acknowledge something. Like one time, this was the most random and most profound thing.
Wow.
She told me, she was like, I realized that we raised you to be probably too independent. And like basically like we could have done more to have you rely on us. But the issue is even when there's acknowledgement, there's no, okay, how do we fix this now? And I wish she'd do that for herself with her issues. Like, she might acknowledge that she made a terrible choice, which led her to where she is, but she won't be like, okay, what is the solution? Because it's too much.
You know what's so funny is that we've had the exact same experience, even though we've never talked about it. My mom would always say this thing to me where she'd be like, oh, but you're my resilient, you're my independent daughter, and I don't have to worry about you like I have to do your brothers, because they're the ones that really need me. And that's, what is that but your mom, you know, in your case at least, your mom acknowledging you probably needed me more than I gave you some room to need me.
Yeah, it's not that we wanted to be like that.
No, it was that, or we got nothing, you know? Like, to
Is
an
it just
extent.
because we're thinking more than, like, our siblings? Like,
yeah.
Like your brothers.
Right. Which, and my brothers were capable, you know, if we're being honest, they were all capable of that same independence that she puts on me. I don't know. But I do know that I've heard this from others. I've seen it online. I've seen this narrative of you're the oldest or you're the this, right? But it's mostly girls. And the idea is that mom could depend on you instead of you depending on mom. And no matter how that shakes out, right? Whatever way it is, or however she said it, that this conversation about independence, at the end of the day, you were put in a position that maybe you didn't want to. And that doesn't mean you don't love your mom. It doesn't mean you don't want to talk to your mom or, you know, come to her for advice and have that like normal parent to child relationship. But it doesn't mean that those boundaries were always respected. And I think that's what we're talking about as a whole. It's not black and white. There's nuance, and you just need that in your adulthood a little bit. Give me what I never got as a child.
Right. Or just let me be. You know, with no strings attached.
No strings attached.
Like, I don't get like a whole lot of strings attached with my mom necessarily. Well, it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
But I'd say in general, not really. But you still just like, you know, they'll just say stuff and it just makes you feel so bad for them.
Right. Right. And that's maybe been there your whole life, you think?
You know, I think she tried to hide it a lot more when we were kids. I think she kept a lot of things separated.
What
and then,
age?
It definitely, I think, was starting more in middle school, which I think was a good amount of time after, like, her and my stepdad had been married. And I just think because of how, like, awful he is, and we're experiencing it too, like, we just started being so open about things, and it led into that. And now, like, she just complains all the time about him, and, like, the awful life she has with my, you know, dealing with him with my brother.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but I can't do anything about that. I can give you my opinion, but ultimately, every time we talk, we're having the same conversation.
It's so hard.
And it's like, I can't help you beyond a certain point because it's the action you have to take.
You gotta do it for yourself, Mom. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what happens. Maybe there's a little bit of a role reversal when you get to that age and you are married, right? And you say, hey... Hey, babe.
Hey, girl.
Girly poppy, love ya. Check your inbox.
Who's that girl?
Oh my god. Who's that girl, Jess? And I want, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? But I think this feeling you have of like, you know, leave him, or maybe it's not leave him. Maybe it's more like, don't take his shit, right? Comes from the value that you have of her. You love your mom. You want more for her.
Well, she also just raised me to be like this, you know, she'd always be very blunt and be like, here's how my past relationships were. Here's the reason why my relationship with your dad failed. And like, you know, just being like, don't take crap from people, blah, blah, blah. And then I look at her and I'm like, okay, well,
you're taking crap.
Practice what you preach then.
Yeah.
And come on.
Yeah. And I wonder if they have that sense of recognition of their hypocrisy. To tell you your whole life not to take it, but then to sit there and kind of accept it.
I don't, you know, with her, I don't know.
Yeah. My mom too. Maybe, you know, if you're listening, maybe this is what you deal with your mom, you know? And that's the thing about daughters, children, you know? It's like, you see it, you grow up with it, so you have this like fundamental understanding that, you know, maybe your mom doesn't even have of herself at that point. So I guess that's kind of our takeaway today, is maybe as a daughter, you end up a little bit the therapist, you end up a little bit the confidant, and when you grow older, when you get to the age that your parents were when they had you, maybe you're a little bit older than that or younger, there's a level to it. There's these different phases that you go through, and as much compassion and understanding you have of your mom, it's always good to want just a little bit more for her than maybe she can have of herself.
Yeah, and it's working through that, and I know for me it's working through these phases so I can get to the point of having these more deep and hard conversations with my
her,
mom.
yeah.
Which I don't think my mom will ever be ready for.
Right.
But
you still gotta be there.
You know, it's good for me.
Yeah.
And especially in the future, just as I get older, she gets older.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna have to. I want her to know how I feel.
It'll still be there. It'll exist. You'll need to tell her. Yeah. And I hope you do. I hope I do. You know, that's if we're hoping, let's project a little bit forward. Let's put ourselves in phase 4. You know,
or maybe phase 5.
Or maybe phase 5.
Is this talking about it with them?
Well, what should it be?
Because that to me is like
10?
Way up there.
Oh.
Maybe not 10, maybe like 7 or 8.
Okay, so what's phase 5 for you? What's the next few phases look like?
Ooh. You know what? Wow. I haven't thought about this.
Maybe.
This is crazy.
So we're thinking about how we feel. We know it's there. We have anger and we have love, right? And those feel like they're so on different ends of the spectrum, but maybe it's like more merging those two together and talking about it, you know?
I think maybe step 5 is like figuring it out on my own first.
Yeah.
Figuring out my own feelings. And distancing myself a little bit from her, which is happening because we did move a little bit farther away. And she just can't be as dependent on me as she has been. Yeah. And I think that's good. She has her own support that she needs to start leaning on more. Yeah. Rather than me.
Right. Right. Yeah. And helping her figure that out for herself through that distance. That's pretty good. And I think this is a little bit special to us. But if you're listening and you have any sort of ideas of what that looks like for you, or, you know, tell us what you think. Tell us where you're at and how you feel about your mom. If you're in the same, whatever, quantum entanglement that we're in.
And if there's anything you want us to discuss.
Yeah.
And have our input.
Let us know.
We're here. Love it.
Thanks.
We'll listen.
Yeah. Thanks for chatting with us again.
And we will see you next time for episode 3. Episode 3.